From the moment we are old enough to grasp a crayon, society begins to sketch out a blueprint for our lives. It is a map dotted with milestones, the right grades, the prestigious university, the dream job, the perfect partner, the impressive salary, the beautiful home. Each one, we are told, is a destination, a marker of achievement, a testament to our worth. We chase these points on the map, believing that once we arrive, once we hit that specific milestone, a switch will flip, and we will finally feel successful, complete, and truly worthy. But what if this entire premise is a mirage? What if the very idea of arriving is a trap, a perpetually moving target designed to keep us in an endless chase? We live in a culture obsessed with metrics: likes, followers, quarterly reports, promotion ladders, net worth. We internalize these external benchmarks, allowing them to become the sole arbiters of our self-esteem. We look at the clock, feeling the relentless tick of time, measuring our progress against an invisible, often unattainable timeline. We scroll through curated feeds, deleting the parts of our lives that do not fit the highlight reel, erasing the messy, authentic moments in favor of a polished, performative existence. We check off tasks, only to find the list regenerating, longer and more demanding than before. This relentless pursuit of external validation creates a profound disconnect. Our identity becomes inextricably linked to our achievements, our worth contingent on our next success. We become human doings, not human beings. The joy of the journey is lost in the anxiety of the destination. We postpone happiness, telling ourselves we will be content when we get that promotion, when we buy that house, when we reach that financial goal. But the when rarely brings the promised peace. Instead, the goalpost simply shifts, and a new, more ambitious target emerges, leaving us feeling perpetually behind, perpetually not enough. The profound truth, often obscured by the noise of modern life, is that success and identity are not milestones to reach, but values to live. They are not external achievements to be accumulated, but internal qualities to be embodied. Your worth is not a prize to be won, but an inherent state of being. It is not about arriving at some predetermined point, but about the integrity, kindness, curiosity, and resilience you bring to each moment, each interaction, each challenge. Consider the common metrics we have been conditioned to chase. A career achievement, for instance. We pour years into climbing a ladder, believing that the title or the corner office will finally validate us. But how many people reach the pinnacle of their profession only to feel an emptiness, a sense of, is this all there is? The same applies to financial success. We pursue wealth with a fervor, convinced that a certain number in the bank account will unlock freedom and happiness. Yet, the stories of unfulfilled millionaires are abundant. Social media, perhaps the most insidious metric of all, offers instant, fleeting validation, but leaves us feeling more isolated and insecure in the long run. Even relationships, which should be sources of deep connection, can become another metric, another box to check, another performance to maintain. The illusion of arriving is particularly potent because it promises an end to the struggle, a final state of peace. But life is not a static destination. It is a dynamic process. Growth is continuous, challenges are inevitable, and change is the only constant. If our sense of self is tethered to a fixed point, we become brittle, unable to adapt, and constantly disappointed when reality inevitably deviates from our carefully constructed plan. The moment we achieve one goal, the mind, ever restless, immediately conjures the next, perpetuating the cycle of striving and dissatisfaction. So, how do we begin the profound process of unlearning these ingrained metrics of worth? It starts with a radical shift in perspective. It means consciously detaching our self-esteem from external outcomes and anchoring it instead in our intrinsic values. It means recognizing that our inherent worth is not something to be earned, but something that simply is. This is not about abandoning ambition or goals. It is about redefining their purpose. Goals become guideposts for growth, opportunities for learning, and expressions of our values. rather than the sole determinants of our identity. To live by values means to ask yourself, what principles truly guide me? Is it integrity, compassion, creativity, courage, curiosity, contribution? When you align your actions with these deeply held beliefs, your sense of worth becomes unshakable, independent of external circumstances. You find fulfillment not in the outcome, but in the authenticity of your effort. The journey itself becomes the reward. This unlearning is not a single event. It is a continuous practice. It involves moments of introspection, challenging deeply held beliefs, and consciously choosing a different path. It means pausing before you react to a perceived failure or success and asking, does this truly define me? It means cultivating self-compassion and recognizing that your value is not diminished by setbacks or enhanced by triumphs. It means embracing imperfection and understanding that growth often happens in the messy middle, not just at the polished finish line. And this brings us to the most profound question of all. Who are you without your goals? If you stripped away every achievement, every title, every possession, every external validation, what remains? This question can be terrifying, but it is also liberating. What remains is your essence, your character, your spirit, your capacity for love, resilience, and connection. It is the core of who you are, independent of what you do or what you have. This is where true identity resides, not in the fleeting accolades of the world, but in the enduring landscape of your inner self. When you begin to unlearn the metrics of worth, a profound sense of freedom emerges. The pressure to perform, to constantly prove yourself, begins to dissipate. You become less susceptible to the whims of external opinion and more attuned to your own inner compass. You find peace not in the absence of challenges, but in the unwavering knowledge of your own inherent value. You can pursue your passions with genuine joy, knowing that your worth is not on the line. You can connect with others from a place of authenticity rather than seeking their approval. This journey of unlearning is perhaps the most important one you will ever embark on. It is the path to true self-acceptance, genuine fulfillment, and a life lived on your own terms. It is about stepping off the hamster wheel of endless striving and discovering the profound richness of simply being. So I invite you to reflect. What metrics have you unknowingly adopted as measures of your worth? And what would it feel like to finally let them go?